Hey guys, welcome to that G site. And today we're finally gonna review the Avengers. Yes, finally, after all these months, it's finally here. Thank God. And well, as I'm sure a lot of people know, this is a story of basically all the Marvel superheroes, all the big guns getting gathered here together. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Nick Fury. And my God, this is also directed by Joss Whedon of Firefly fame, of Serenity, of Dollhouse, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, and my God, this is not actually his directorial debut, but it's a second feature, and it's the biggest movie he's ever done. And my God,
and it was fun.
oh yeah, it more than met expectations here. This was totally awesome. I can't I'm still processing the information right now, even as we speak.
We're still giddy about the whole thing.
Exactly. It was a complete information overload here. Amazing stuff.
I was expecting I was always apprehensive about the Avengers because how could they merge everything together,
right?
Give everybody their moment, and still maintain some kind of balance, because it's a dangerous thing to do in the comics, but more so in the movies, because these actors get paid billions of dollars and huge salaries, so their screen time and their billing is important. But Whedon pulled it off. Whedon pulled it off. Everybody gets their moment.
Everyone.
Even the ones who have no powers, they're essential to the story. Their progression is there. And I'm really happy because I'm an Iron Man fan, and Iron Man still gets major screen time.
Oh, yes.
He has to be smarmy and snarky still. I'm just happy about it. I'm just so happy about it.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just give a brief synopsis. I mean, basically, there's a major galactic threat, and it's led by Loki. So
He's so cute, by the way.
And
He's so crushing on him.
and Nick Fury decides to gather the Avengers. So basically, the first part of the story is really the gathering of all the heroes together, and then the last half is basically them taking on this huge threat.
Yeah.
And man, they really did not pull the stops. They pulled out all the stops here.
Yeah.
They went all out, in terms of budget, in terms of the action, in terms of the story.
Everything. I couldn't find. Maybe because I was so into it, what I've always been saying about movies is that when I get lost in it, I don't notice anything else. I don't notice the technical stuff. I don't notice that this guy's my favorite actor. I notice the character. I go for the story.
Yeah.
This is what happened. I couldn't figure out if there were any technical, goofs or
gaffies,
exactly.
glitches.
Because I was just totally lost in the movie.
And you came in late.
And I came in late. I
You
was
missed at least 10 minutes.
10-15 minutes. Yeah. And I had 3 bags of popcorn.
Yeah, we went all out here. We went to the Eastwood Ultra Theater. Spared no expense.
The Lazy Boy.
Oh yeah.
Loved it.
Right.
Unlimited popcorn and drinks.
With being the lazy boys, there was the temptation to fall asleep.
Exactly.
It was a bad movie.
Exactly.
If it was
But
a bad
not
movie.
a bad movie.
No,
So you're awake the whole time.
Exactly.
2 hours, 20 minutes, and the pacing was great.
Yeah.
When the action started, it wouldn't let up.
Right.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't let up.
Correct.
I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
I did not want it to end at all. I was so immersed. Some people would say when you watch it's that Transformers did it better, but no. The thing is,
No.
this is
I'm
it's not
sorry,
enough.
no.
With what Transformers did, there's spectacle, but this Avengers has depth to it. And it's got great, funny moments, great one-liners.
One-liners,
Funny
the interaction between the actors is great. And
You know what? I think the 3 of us were the loudest in the cinema.
I didn't really care.
I didn't really care.
I
I
didn't care.
just
I didn't
laughed
care
my
either.
ass off.
Yeah.
because because like in the previous Marvel films, they captured the personality of each of these characters already. So them rubbing off on each other
Was perfect.
was great because that's the way they interact in the comics also.
Yeah.
You know, that's why there's a distinction between the super soldier and the billionaire philanthropist and the thunder god. There are
Billionaire playboy, genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. There you
so
go.
they have to. There's a clear distinction between their personalities, and you see why they don't get along at the start, and you see why they end up getting along eventually.
And that's the fun part of this movie. You know, how they, clash against each other. And how they exactly evolve, into the Avengers itself.
Yeah.
It's fun seeing Thor and Iron Man, or even Iron Man and Captain America,
Throwing down.
down.
Because you want them to fight each other.
Exactly, yes.
Because essentially we're
They're
guys.
egos.
We're guys and we want a throwdown. We want them to punch each other.
Yeah.
See who ends up standing at the end.
Right,
but at the
right,
same
right.
time, you know that they're supposed to be a team.
Yeah.
So there comes a point where they're like, oh, for the greater good, we gotta get along, people.
Yeah.
Right. And really, admittedly, a lot of this is a lot of fanboy requests.
Yeah.
It's all fanboy dreams, right?
Yeah.
But, of course, we love to see these guys match up against each other. At the same time, you see the characters. You see, during the dialogue, you see how the characters come out. That's Joss Whedon's talent, how he brings out the character in each of them, and how exactly what you said, he makes it distinct.
Yeah.
The billionaire playboy, the genius billionaire playboy, the super soldier,
The thunder
even
god.
The spy.
The gamma irradiated
Spy.
monster.
Yeah. And that's what he does well. He knows the characters because he's a fanboy himself.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. And not just that. He's able to know, as a director, the buttons for the audience to hit, and he reaches that here.
Yeah.
And oh man, there's
Props have to be given to Zach Penn and Joss Whedon for the
Right.
screenplay.
Right.
And I think major props have to be given to Mark Millar and Brian Hitch because a lot of the story here is based on their comic called The Ultimates, which is, it's one of the great comics.
Right.
I'm happy that I have them in individuals from some years back, and they pretty much adapted it for the big screen. Elements of that plus the original Avengers story from the 60s were adapted into this huge film,
Exactly.
and they did it.
Yeah. I mean, Whedon knew it for a fact that because this comic, it's Avengers, but it's more realistic Avengers.
Yeah.
It's more of a military type of version.